Hey there, YouTube. It's Keeko here, bringing you guys Keeko's Corner number 8, or episode 8. What this episode's going to be about is a budget deck. Now, what is a budget deck? It's what it sounds like. It's a deck that you can get on a tight budget. Now, here's the thing you got to realize, guys. You play Yu-Gi-Oh! You must have some sort of money because Yu-Gi-Oh! Costs money. Um, this deck I'm going to give you all right now is a deck that came to mind. I've done a short video over it, but it does have a few changes. But a fellow YouTuber messaged me and said, "Hey, why don't you talk about a deck that's kind of a budget deck? I don't have a lot of money, so why don't you help me on figuring out what kind of deck I can run?" So the deck that I'm going to show you right now is one that I think um, can be done. And to be honest, your most expensive cards in this deck are pretty much going to be your synchros. And but you know, if you should be able to get a hold of these. There we go. There's the other card I needed. You should be able to get a hold of these for the most part. You can build this deck slowly, and I'll let you know what I think needs to go on with it. So I'm going to go ahead and do it right for you guys right now. It's a scrap deck, and I'll let you know why I think it's so good to run on a budget. First thing you're going to notice about this deck, guys, and actually let me get this where I think you can see it better. First thing you're going to notice about this deck, guys, is that there are a lot of rares and commons in this deck. There's a few hollows that the card only comes in hollow, and but they're still relatively cheap cards, as in your 3 scrap chimeras. You could probably find these around for about $5 a piece, maybe even cheaper, just depending on where you go. He's your main engine for the deck. Great card. So this is a budget deck along with like a deck profile. Next are your 3 scrap beast. They are just a rare. They're not that expensive. They're pretty cheap. Awesome card in the deck. Next are 3 scrap goblins, and they're common. Not an expensive common at all. 2 scrap golem. Just rares once again. Gravekeeper spies, 2 of them. These will run you about $5 a piece, but if you'll buy the Merrick Structure deck for $10, you'll get both of your spies. And you'll get a few other really good cards in there as well, like Mirror Force, which you need in this deck, and a couple of others. Summoner Monk, real cheap common. Morphing Jar, this is just a rare, and you can pick him up pretty cheaply, not too expensive. As well as the Spirit Reaper. Just a rare, nothing special. Okay, now for this deck, guys, you actually need 3 Scrap Storms, but I only have 2 on me, so it is a hollow, but it's probably like a $1 or $2 hollow. 2 Scrap Yards, same situation as the Scrap Storm. 2 MST, these are just commons, real easy to get. Cold Wave, really easy to get. Now, in my deck, I run Pot of Duality. If you don't have a Pot of Duality, then you can either run 2 Smashing Grounds as opposed to the 1 that I run. 1 Dark Hole with common. Monster Reborn, you can get commons. I run 1 Scrap Lube. Most people don't run this, but I run it just, I think it's handy. 2 Dimensional Prison. 2 Bottomless commons once again, guys. Solemn Judgment, he's decently expensive, but most people carry a Solemn Judgment. I really recommend this card in the deck, so that's one card you can splurge some money on. Mirror Force common. Magic Cylinder, it's a secret or an ultra rare, but it's pretty cheap. Common Dark Bribe, it's about a $5 common. You can get a hold of that. Common Call of the Haunted, common 7 Tools, and a rare Compulsory. You can get those pretty cheap too. So guys, you could throw in like a third scrapyard for the pot of duality, or throw in another smashing ground. Um, you could throw in anything like that, really. Even a third Gravekeeper Spy, even though I don't recommend it. You could throw a Gravekeeper's Guard in there. Another staple of some sort. So there's just some ideas on that. Now your synchros are where it's going to get slightly more expensive, because you need to run at least one, maybe two scrap twin dragons. Definitely 3 scrap dragons. You could run a scrap archfiend, which is just like a $4 or $5 super. I run 3 stardust or 2, just whichever. I run a Cataster. You can do, I think you can even do Barkion in this deck. I think. Of course, you can run your Black Rose Dragons, your Goyo, your Bryonic, anything like that, guys. So, I hope this helps. I'm sure there's probably even cheaper decks out there, and I will go through more of those once I get them built. Like, I don't think Gravekeepers is that expensive at all, and it's actually a really, really, really good deck. Your expensive cards are like Royal Tribute, which happens to be a common, and it's just broke and needs to be banned, to be honest. But, so guys, let me know what you think about this deck. Like I said, this is budget deck for the people who have been asking for it, and all that good stuff. So I really hope you enjoyed this, guys. Please check out my other video up here, or on my main page. It'll probably actually be on there. It's called Oh Snap. Please, please, please check that out and do what that video asked you to do. I would be so grateful to you guys. You know what it is, YouTube. Peace.